Okay, whatever. We can figure it out later. So let's record.
Let us do this thing that we call a pod. How am I coming in? Because I'm far away from the mic.
You sound perfectly fine to me.
Awesome. So I'm just gonna keep talking like this. We need to do a funny thing for the intro, so that I can put the music.
I mean, I would suggest just like playing funky music, white boy, but I'm not going to because.
Now, our theme song is a lot of things, but funky is not one of them.
Play that funky music, white boy. Bum, 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 bum. Play that funky music, white.
What did I tell you about getting sued and us not wanting that?
Yeah, but like, I've already sung before, so
yeah,
it's
I know. And every single time you open your mouth, it's just like all I hear is you're gonna get sued because people who copyright music are litigious pricks. Welcome to episode 15 of Stuck in the Middle with You, a podcast where two guys take a look at a critically divisive film and see on what side of the consensus they fall on. My name is Derek Gade. The other guy is Juan Barkeen. Say hi, Juan.
Hi.
And this is my pick this week, and I think I did okay.
Did you?
I'm pretty sure I did. I mean, I saw what you gave it on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Which was exactly the same thing as me.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's get right to it. The movie we watched for the show today is Blacula, released in 1972, directed by William Crane.
What?
Yes. Juan, what the hell is Blacula about?
Blacula is not the camp spectacular I expected from the title. The implications of the title really just throw, like, and honestly, even the first scene of the movie kind of just implies this semi-ridiculous movie about a black vampire who is Dracula, but he's not, because literally the movie opens with this, like, kind of fascinating scene.
It's a great scene. It's a great scene.
Like, it's great in production, great in everything, but it's just like Mamuwalde, which is Blacula's name, actual name, and Count Dracula, just kind of like chit-chatting before you know he's Count Dracula. And like at one point, like, I think like his dialogue, Dracula's dialogue is just gold in the way it's written and spoken, delivered.
Here's the thing: the movie starts off in the 18th century in Transylvania, and Mamuwalde, played by the great William Marshall, who's great in this role.
Best part of the fucking movie.
He and his wife, played by Vonetta McGee, go to Transylvania on a sort of what appears to be a diplomatic mission. But it soon turns sour because Dracula goes from being sort of the foppish, vaguely threatening host that we know him to be into a way, way fucking racist, pro-slave trade aristocrat, which I guess if you think about the character of Dracula a bit makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense, but like you could tell he was a fucking racist from like I think his one of his first lines was just, "I've never before had the opportunity of entertaining personages from the dark continent."
What dark continent? Like, this is a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon from the 30s.
The thing is, like, Mamuwalde doesn't like give any fucks in that scene. He's just like, "Sir, are you ill?"
No, it's a great scene. Better than any scene like that deserves to be, really. And,
I know. The thing, like, and then it very much slyly introduces you to the fact that this is not going to be just, like, a completely ridiculous movie. No,
it basically, contrary to popular belief, of people that haven't actually seen the movie, Blacula plays the material pretty straight. It's not really a campy comic horror. It's really more like a police procedural thriller horror hybrid.
I mean, it's two things. It's the police procedural on one hand, and it's the romance narrative on the other.
Yeah, it's
kind of the vampire thing on the other.
And the vampire thing, obviously.
Whatever.
Which leads us into a great intro credit sequence, a great animated intro credit sequence. Set to a great theme song by the legendary arranger Gene Page.
Yeah.
The intro credits sequence is amazing, and the score is great.
The intro credits are really, really beautiful. They're just so simple and so satisfying. The vampire bit came out of absolutely nowhere. Like, had I like walked into this and not known that it was Blacula, I like the opening just doesn't really seem that like there's no implication up until the point where like this dude literally walks away and then shows up with like vampire gals and these like fangs out of nowhere.
For a brief moment after the intro credit sequence, we think we might be getting sort of a campier movie because we're introduced to our two first characters.
Don't remind me. They're gay fucking fashion designer something. Like, I don't know what the fuck they are. They're
Bobby and Billy, an interracial gay couple. Progressive. Here's the thing, and I wrote this in my letter. This
movie is not even remotely progressive.
No.
It's not as progressive as it wishes it was.
No, here's the thing. I wrote about this in my Letterboxd review for this movie, is that there's this push-pull in a lot of blaxploitation movies where they're like progressive and regressive at the same time. Progressive because, you have black heroes, black themes, this new mode of filmmaking that an entire group of people can see themselves in that can't see themselves in like sort of classic Hollywood films that came before because of, we know exactly what.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you got people using the F word for gay people in this movie, not just once.
No, literally the only way they're like, the only way they refer to every single gay person is by yelling, "Those faggots!" And I'm just like, oh, okay, thanks. That's like, that's cute.
That's a little disheartening.
It's cute. You guys are trying, I guess. On one hand, on another hand, you're failing miserably, but it's okay. But no, it's actually very cool to see like this movie just shamelessly embedding like 70s black culture into a very much plain genre narrative that's been done time and time again.
And that's ultimately what works best about it, is that it's an intriguing hybrid of sensibilities. Like, it's not like when you think of a blaxploitation film, this is not the image you have of it. And this movie works better because of that friction. Yeah.
And I mean, like, watching it reminded me of, which I guess also is because of the fact that it's like a genre romance narrative, contemporary black culture from the period it's from hybrid, which was Spike Lee's The Sweet Blood of Jesus, since I just saw that, like, what was it, either this year or last year? I can't remember. Recently.
Technically last year, but this year.
Yeah, Michelle and I saw it this year. But like that...
Because that's basically Spike Lee's version of Ganja and Hess, which is probably the blaxploitation horror film in terms of just idiosyncratic weirdness and 70s black culture.
Yeah, but it's kind of fascinating to me that like these movies still influence today.
But here's the thing,
they still hold influence today.
Here's the thing, though. This movie isn't Shaft.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not like Chuck Turner or anything. This is not like, I'm a badass and shit needs to be done.
No, it's just I love this woman and I want her. This is a lot
lower key than you would expect.
Yeah.
So yes, I was glad to see that Canadian acting legend Gordon Pinsent wasn't wasted in his small, little, tiny role as the token white guy.
The token white guy.
He was a token white guy.
He was. It's true.
Yeah, I'm for Canadians and everything. So
I know you are. That's fine.
I'd like to talk.
Should be for Canadians and me. Comedy. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
But in a way, this movie is kind of a tonal mess because it was sort of juggling all because you have the horror. You have the horror, you have the romance. There's like musical numbers in the middle of it.
There's this one big musical segment that's just shoved into the middle of it. Like it's like this like funky performance in the middle of the club.
Yeah, they're in a club and there's this house band playing this a 70s flavored funky soul R&B deal.
Yeah.
And it has no business in this movie.
It has no business. And they cut to it like more often than I think every single conversation that takes place in that club at once.
And in that club, like Mama Walde as Blacula makes a crack about wanting to drink a Bloody Mary. And I'm like, damn it. Son of a bitch.
I love so many.
And then, spoiler alerts for Blacula, the movie ends, just to give an idea of how out of whack the tone is at times. The movie ends with Blacula committing suicide by sunlight because his beloved Tina, who appears to be the reincarnation of his wife from the 18th century, gets staked. And he has no reason to live anymore. And I'm trying to think, and this is really big and important and a big downer in this film, not just because from a thematic point of view, it basically says, well, the only way that you can rid yourself of slavery is if you die. That is a bummer. That's a bummer ending to a movie.
It really is. And also because of the fact that the entire movie hinges on the fact that, like, their romance actually works. And, like, Blacula is actually, like, he has so much, and, like, I hate calling him Blacula because, like, they literally only refer to him as Blacula once in the entire movie.
Yeah, that's right. Otherwise, he's Mama Walde, the African prince.
Yeah, he's Mama Walde, the African or Mama Walde, just the dude who, strange dude who showed up at
what a weird dude with his velvet cape and his fake teeth.
Mama, like, the whole movie, like, very much tries to focus on giving Mama Walde, like, depth of character.
Like, there's an interesting movie in here about, there's an obvious one-to-one correlation between slavery and vampirism.
Oh, yeah. Well,
there's a pretty direct correlation, and the movie doesn't really engage with that.
It doesn't at all because...
And I would really like to see a movie that would.
Are you surprised, though?
I'm not surprised. I'm not quite sure what the tone... I'm sure that there was something at AIP who produced the movie that was like, okay, I got this movie here about this black vampire, and it's about, culture shock and slavery, but AIP, I'm sure, wanted, like, sort of they wanted a Shaft, basically, and I guess that doesn't really meld. Like, I think The Sweet Blood of Jesus, I haven't seen it, but I think that's a step more in the direction of the movie that I wanted to see with Blacula.
So, I would think. And it also has all of the style, like, the stylistic tones that I really, really loved out of Blacula. There's, like, a lot of really, really, like, beautiful shots in Blacula, and there's two scenes in particular that I loved with all my heart. But, like, for a blaxploitation film, like, there's a shocking lack of, like, TNA shots and, like, kind of like exploitative beats.
It's pretty classy for a movie of its ilk.
Very much so. And again, with the title Blacula, you don't expect classy.
But yeah, it is a pretty classy movie in that respect. I mean, there's some weird touches here and there, like the morgue technician with the hook hand, and all the club sequences with the band. Some of it is really weird.
Yeah, but like the two shots in particular that I'm thinking of that
I'm gonna guess one of them, and I'm sure you'll agree with me. When the vampire that's in the morgue comes to life and she runs
when Juanita runs toward claw-handed guy. Yes.
And she runs towards the camera in slow motion. That's a brilliant shot.
It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. But the other one that I loved with all my heart, just because of the coloring, the way it comes, like, it just, it's when basically literally from the moment that the dancer gets to her house, and it's just like exploring her house, I feel like establishing a little more, like fleshing out her character a little more just by showing that she's...
This is going to sound like a weird comparison. This sounds very Jean Dillman.
Really?
A little bit.
Not at all. I mean, like, I guess.
Like
really. I mean, she literally doesn't say a single word until she's like, wait a second, he's not in the picture or whatever. But, like, literally, like, you go through, like there's multiple shots of, like, just going through her house to get, like, technically they're plot driven or for the sole sake of, like, providing a little more to the Dracula legend, but, like, it's just, like, you see her photography, you see that she has a dark room, and it's like, oh, this woman was just, like, some lady at the fucking club taking pictures of these people, and now she has a dark room, and she has a life, and she's a really good photographer.
That's an interesting sort of, sidetrack. Like, the movie goes on these tangents that don't ever get resolved.
It's true, but also just the way the dark room was shot, and the way, like, he comes up to her to kill her was really, really good, too. I mean,
a dark room just in red is like Power Shot 101. It's impossible to make it look bad.
I feel like you could. I feel like I've seen it look bad in movies before. I can't remember what this, like, one coming of age movie was with some kid as a photographer, but I remember hating the way they shot the dark room in that movie.
Are you thinking of Boyhood?
Oh my god, I am thinking
Probably.
my God,
I like that you were like
right.
100% dismissive of this piece of shit movie about this kid photographer there. Literally the most acclaimed film of last year.
Yeah, but like, okay, admit it. His entire photography bit was like bullshit. It like felt out of nowhere.
I don't mind that shit at all.
It was so no. I
didn't. It's Blacula doing Cameron Crowe. I'm all for it.
Ugh, no, I'm not, because I don't give a shit about Cameron Crowe anymore at this point in my life. But whatever, we're not going to keep on talking about.
This is a different conversation for a different pod.
Yes, it very much.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned for our new pod, talking down movies that other people like with Derek and Juan.
Which, frankly, I really liked Boyhood. It has issues.
I mean, yeah, it has its issues. That didn't keep me from giving it a perfect score and naming the movie of the year for me.
Yeah, I know. Whatever. You're Canadian.
Okay, what the fuck does that have to do with anything?
I don't know. I'm tired.
If you would have said you're a white dude in his 20s, then yes, you have a full-on point there.
I was going to say
agree.
that, but I wanted to be nicer, and I wanted you to make you admit it yourself, so that worked well.
I am like constitutionally incapable of disliking Boyhood because that kid up on the screen was me, okay?
I know, that's great. Anyway, back to
a young artsy-fartsy white dude who would be about my age now? Yeah, right on. That's me. Cool.
So back to Blacula.
Back to Blacula.
Another thing that I noticed was like not a single scene takes place in the daytime, or at the very least when they do take place in the daytime, or presumably so.
They're always inside.
Exactly. Literally, there isn't a shot of the daylight until the very last bit of the movie when he walks out into the sunlight. And I thought that was really cool.
Who is enslaved by a curse exercises free will.
Exactly.
For the first time in 300 years.
Hooray.
And well, hooray, but he ends up dying. And I'm trying to think, there's not a ton of movies where vampires self-terminate like that.
But there are a lot of...
There's like Thirst, where that happens. And it's just as sad. It's fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know there's a season of True Blood where they do that.
We don't talk about television on this podcast.
I don't give a shit.
It must happen on like Buffy, right?
Yeah.
But I'm talking like movies though.
Whatever. I mean, I can't think of any movies off the top of my head outside of Thirst.
Yeah, it's the thing. The only thing that I can think of is Thirst, and that's remarkable. And I think they did a good job of using that as sort of like a thematic tool.
I think so too.
I mean, Bill Marshall was really selling the ending there, but I get the idea.
And Bill Marshall really knocks it the fuck out of the park. He's
the
so
king
good
of cartoons, man.
He really is so fucking.
Kicks the ass of this role.
His delivery in every single scene, he makes you care about Mamualde so much, and I'm so delighted.
Yeah, it brings a lot of gravitas and soul to this role.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else thematic that you want to talk about, or something else that you wanted to elaborate on?
Oh no, that's the problem. I don't think I have that much more. I feel I don't know. I figured this was going to be a shorter episode because I didn't have that much either. Do you know if the two writers are white or black?
You know what? I tried looking and
I couldn't figure it out either.
Yeah, it's the thing. There's no pictures of them or anything. Nothing on their IMDb, and the only two credits that both of them have are this movie.
Are these two movies?
Blacula Scream, which is a sequel to this film.
Which, speaking of Scream, Blacula Scream, I actually, I was reading the plot for it, and I'm kind of fascinated to watch it because it just, obviously the first film ends with Blacula committing suicide, but, apparently this movie involves Pam Grier.
Yep, the great Pam Grier.
Resurrecting him from the dead, which, she doesn't, rather, her successor and son resurrects him to do his bidding, and that sounds so
still played by William
detached.
Marshall though.
Yes,
still
absolutely.
Played by William Marshall.
But that sounds so detached from the former film that we've just got. It sounds so completely ridiculous.
William Crane, the director of this film, is white, right?
Yes.
Some of the great blaxploitation filmmakers, ironically enough, are also white. Jack Hill was also a white man. Obviously, there's no dearth of great black filmmakers from the era. You just have to think of Gordon Parks and his son, who are both great filmmakers in their own right. Gordon Gordon Parks obviously did Shaft. Shit, what was the movie that Gordon Jr. did?
I don't know, but Shaft rocks. He's a bad mother. Shut your
mouth. Are we talking about Shaft, though?
No, we're not, but...
so I guess I can't dig it.
Oh, wow. I hate you so much.
All right.
I don't deserve this. Gordon Parks Jr. made Superfly.
Superfly, yes.
Speaking of which, Superfly came out the same year as Blacula did.
You know what? I didn't see all of Superfly.
You shame me.
I know. It's shameful.
Blaxploitation fascinates me, but I feel like I haven't seen nearly enough.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, and like something like Black Dynamite doesn't count.
Obviously
really,
not.
Because that's like a spook. Like I think it was this dude Matt Lynch, who I think we're all sort of familiar with if we're on Letterboxd or Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
I was on a podcast one time and he said that a lot of people I like Black Dynamite. I think that movie's a pile of shit. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. I think that movie's a pile of shit. It says that it's a parody of blaxploitation movies. That's like a parody of 5 blaxploitation movies.
It is. It's true.
His argument is that, there's like a breadth and depth of genre and performance and everything just as much in blaxploitation as there is in any other kind of cinema, which is true. And that basically that Black Dynamite was just harping on the greatest hits of blaxploitation, like your Shaft and your Foxy Brown and whatever.
Which, frankly, I don't think is a bad thing.
You know what? It's fine. I thought that movie was hilarious.
It's delightful.
Think that the deducing scene that signals the third act change in Black Dynamite is still like the funniest thing.
It is, honestly. I think it's hilarious.
But anyways, we're not talking about Black Dynamite. We're talking about Blacula.
Yes, we are.
And this movie was pretty cool. I mean, we both thought that it was going to be sort of a lighter, campier affair. It played the material straight, had some weird tone issues, but it was still really good. William Martin.
Yeah, and actually, I think my only other complaint is like it's a little too long for its own good, which I didn't expect to say about.
Yeah, there was no reason this shouldn't have been like 88 minutes.
Or like an hour 20, honestly.
The score is great. Gene Page was a very famous and in-demand arranger. And what I like about the score is that it's not just funky shit, it's also horror shit.
Yeah, it is.
And so I guess knowing that, I think you know where we'll fall on the fresh rotten dichotomy.
We're both on the fresh side.
We are. This movie is really dope. Look for it, find it at your local independent video store. Rent the shit out of it, watch it, enjoy it.
Do the thing.
So Juan, since this was my movie, what the hell is your recommendation?
It's really hard for me to pick a recommendation because, like, I look at all the other 1972 films and I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, we can't really go the usual route.
I can't recommend television because...
Well, that's against the rules.
Exactly, which sucks. Because I would have just said Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Right.
Just watch the entirety of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Watch the whole run of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I mean, you should do that anyway.
Oh, yeah, you should do that anyway, but...
It can't be
our official recommendation.
Solely because Woody Allen's new movie, which doesn't look particularly good, but whatever. His new movie is coming out. Are you referring to An Irrational Man? Yeah, his new movie's coming out, and I figure I should just go ahead and pick one movie that he did not direct, but he wrote and starred in, and that I really, really like, because it's very much just like a neurotic film critic and Casablanca, and like I can dig that. That's me. And also Herbert Ross directed it, and Herbert Ross is cool. But it's Play It Again, Sam.
I have not seen this movie.
It's really fun. It's really good early Woody Allen, in my opinion. I really dig it. I feel like more people should watch it because I feel like nobody does watch it. And it's Woody Allen, Diane Keaton, Tony Roberts, other people too. And like Humphrey Bogart is a main character, even though it's not actually Humphrey Bogart, but it's it's just his existence in the movie. But whatever. Anyway, Derek, what's your recommendation?
I too am going to take a movie from 1972. I was torn between the movie I'm going to recommend and Slaughterhouse-Five, the George Roy Hill film, the adaptation of the Kurt Vonnegut novel, which is really good. It's scored by Glenn Gould, and the match cuts in it are amazing, but I'm not going to recommend that movie, even though that movie is dope.
What are you going to recommend then?
I am going to recommend a Western starring a very young Jeff Bridges, directed by Robert Benton, who's probably more famous for Kramer versus Kramer. This movie is called Bad Company. It's a Western where Jeff Bridges plays a con man, and they flee the draft. They're basically draft dodgers during the Civil War, and they're basically trying their luck out trying to get to the Old West, and tragedy befalls them. It's one of those it's kind of a mood Western or a revisionist Western. It's not
a mood Western.
It is a mood Western. It's like I was gonna say Dead Man, the Jim Jarmusch movie, but that's more of an acid Western. But it's the same idea of like sort of painting the Civil War era with drab colors, as well it should. And it has a great performance by a dude called Barry Brown, who died not too long after this movie was released. But it's a really, really, really solid performance in a really, 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 really solid movie. So yeah, Bad Company.
All right then.
All right. So Juan, your pick next time. What the fuck are we doing?
I don't know. I have so many options.
You have several hundred options.
I know. I guess I'm going to go ahead and pick one of two Zack Snyder movies that I have yet to see. Which Derek was telling me just earlier that he thought he'd seen all of the Zack Snyder movies except for this one. And then he just started listing off movies that he hadn't seen. And I'm like, Derek, you've only seen two.
I've seen two. Here's the thing. Movies. I keep forgetting that this guy is so forgettable that I keep forgetting that he's made other movies than the ones that I've seen. I say this as a fan of Watchmen. But,
I say this also as a fan of Watchmen. But anyway, the movie that I'm going to pick is not Watchmen. It is Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole.
Hoot, hoot, motherfucker!
I know. We're watching a movie about animated owls.
CGI animated owls. This is going to be an intriguing time here at Stuck in the Middle with You Industries. We're going to be watching, Legends of the Guardian, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. Released in 2010, directed by Zack Snyder.
Woohoo.
Hoot, hoot.
So, yeah.
Man, this is going to be weird.
You go ahead and do the
plugs. All right. Juan and I run a website together. It's called Dim the House Lights. You can find it at dimthehouselights.com. It's where all of our long-form film criticism goes. We also write with three other people, Michelle Arf, Chris Mello, and Ross Burks. Right now, as you're listening to this episode, assuming you're listening to it in July or August 2015, and if that's not the case, hello from the past, everybody. We are in the middle of a thing on Dim the House Lights called the 1989 Tournament of Films. We've picked 12 movies to go head-to-head in a Battle Royale single elimination tournament to figure out which one of those 12 movies is the best. The first round is done. You can find all of the first round essays and all subsequent essays in the tournament at dimthehouselights.com. Juan and myself are also both on Letterboxd and Twitter. Juan is at It's Juanito at both places. That's WOAH. It's Juanito altogether. I am at both places at Derek_G. You can visit our podcast's Tumblr page, which is at sitmwypodcast.tumblr.com. There you can find links to our old episodes, our RSS feed, and also our iTunes page, where you can subscribe to us, leave us a message, a review, all sorts of cool shit to help out the pod in ways that don't cost you money. Because this pod doesn't cost you money to listen to.
Woo.
Yes. I think that's everything. That is everything.
Probably.
Yes, that is everything, I believe. So we're going to be watching some owls do shit next time. And until then, see you in 2 weeks.
Have fun. Bye.
There we go.
Delightful.